Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Yes, still in the room. Like I know you're still in the room, but it's your mind and soul still here. Yes, no,
Yeah.
no. I know probably this time probably is a break time for you. No.
No.
All right, let's continue. My name is Ahyley. So happy to be here. I was working in Google Malaysia, and I'm right now a Google trainer. So I train companies, individual, mostly on Google products like Google Ads and other products. But I'm mainly also a digital marketing consultant. So I actually work with clients, helping them to kind of like generate leads online, and also with social media channels and all this. All right, so I think next, moving on, I will talking more about topics like how do you build a most significant and proven social media engagement strategy? Because with our topic today, it's like conversation is queen, right? Okay, and content is king. But in a way, right, it actually means that if you're producing content, but if your content today, no one is talking about it, so it doesn't lead you to anywhere, right? I think most of us today here, especially business owners, we actually struggle this. Like, we posted a lot on digital media channel, we posted a lot of content on social media, but somehow we are not getting the attention. Anyone facing this problem? Yes? No? Okay, so probably you guys are the content creators here. Alright, but anyway, we'll talk more about, how do you create a content that people will actually start talking about it. Alright, so before we start, right, just a little bit stats here, because I always love to start with statistics with my presentation, because statistics help us to understand where is your customers, and let us to better understand how, as a business owner, what kind of direction or strategy that we need to use, alright? So if you look into the stats, right, I think you will be very familiar with these numbers. In Malaysia, there's a lot of active social media users, so about 24 million of them. But when I talked about active social medias, right, we always have two types of active users. One is the active who are posting on social media. Anyone very active on posting on social media? No? Yes? And we have another type of active user. What type? The stalkers, right? The one that you're actively stalking, right? Anyone here? Yes? You're not actively posting, but you're actively stalking. I have to admit, I am, right? Okay, so, but if you look into the stats, right, as a business owner, this number is really big numbers for you, because your customers are living on social media today. So question for you is that, have you an online presence on social media, right? And average Malaysian actually spend like 3 hours on social media, but I'm sure you spend more than that, yes? I think I spent about 6 hours. Too many, right? Probably while working or showering, I also checking my Instagram. Nope. Okay, cool. But anyway, these statistics actually tell us that your customers is already on digital, and they are actively on social media. So question to you is that if you are building a brand or you're building a business today, it's very important to have an online presence, and especially on social media. All right, and if you move on to that's why what I mentioned here is that it's a very huge opportunity, because according to Digital Economy Malaysia stats, it actually shows that 62% of Malaysian businesses have an internet connection, which means they are connected on internet, but only 18% of them have an online presence. So a lot of, especially in Malaysia, a lot of the small, medium businesses, or a lot of business, still they don't have an online presence. But if you look into the stats, right, it's definitely a huge opportunity for you, because your customer are already there. All right. So question to yourself again is that, have you already tapped on this? Okay. So maybe I would like to understand a little bit more on the floor, right? Any one of you here already are running your own business page, like your Facebook business page? Yes. All right. Any one of you here still new and you are looking into building a page? All right, cool. We have numbers of both, right? Okay. But anyway, when we talk about social media channels, right? Moving into digital sounds very easy, all right? Because a lot of people will tell you today is that have your business already have digital presence, right? And a lot of people actually moving to have an online presence just because, you know, everybody have it and your competitors have it. So, but the question is always here is that before you actually start any social media channels or any social media platforms, right? The first question you should ask yourself is that what is your objective of setting up this page? Because a lot of time when I ask my clients, right, why do you need an Instagram page? And always the answers to me is that, oh, because my competitors have it. So I have to have it, right? But it doesn't mean that everyone have it, you have to. So it always need to ask yourself, the first question is, before you start any digital marketing strategy, is that what is your objective of owning the platforms, of owning the page, all right? So if you have a clear objective, you will know what kind of content to produce later, all right? I will share with you more later. But so setting a right objective for your social media page is very important, and we always have different types of objective, okay? So the most common objective that a lot of businesses set is that they want to leverage on social media channel or platform to help them to generate more sales, all right? So this actually is very, very common objective, but when you talk about sales, right, what kind of sales? You have to define it, because especially business, like if your business is, your customer is business also, like B2B, probably social media might not be a good channel for you, you know, to leverage and to close a deal, but probably it's a good channel for you to have just an online presence, okay? So generating more sales actually helps you to reach new customers, and then helps you, social media actually helps you to, allows you to create new opportunities and also target different types of audience, all right? When we talk about audience, this is relatively important as well, because a lot of people don't understand well their target audience. Okay, and this one we will move to the later part, like how do you define your target audience, okay? And social media channels, usually people are using it to also build relationships and networks. So build relationship mainly is with your customers, because in the back, traditional marketing, right? Let's say 15 years back ago, when we are doing marketing, right, it's very hard for us to build relationship with our customers because we don't have a channel for us, right? But social media today, because it allows two-way communication, it allows two-way conversation, that's why you are able to better understand your customers today. So marketing today and marketing in the back is totally different, because today not only that you're able to talk or conversation with your customers, but you're also able to collect data. Like what Mark shared earlier, is that the behind it, right? The what kind of people who engage with your social media platforms, you are able to know who, all right? And then next objective that most people actually set is that they are leveraging on social media platform. It could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, or it could be YouTube channel, to help them to add value to the brand. Because a lot of people actually use social media platform to raise customer service levels. So they actually tap on the channel to actually serve the social media platform, like their Facebook page, as a customer service support, like a channel for them. Right, so this could be one of the way, and a lot of people also use, like I mentioned earlier, start two-way conversations, and also show a new side of your brand. So a lot of time when we talk about social media, right, we also talk about not only marketing but also branding, right? So because on social media you will need to have a personality of your brand, like your brand personality. So this on Facebook and Instagram, right, it actually allows you to show another side of your brand that could your customer not knowing about it, right? For example, some people actually use social media platform to actually show the behind the scene of how they make their products and all this, right? So this, in a way, right, you are actually creating a storyline also, not only getting your customers to know, the surface of yourself, but also the behind, right? And also to build your own community, especially on Facebook today, because we have a lot of feature, like you are able to create groups. Anyone in any Facebook groups? Like active in Facebook group, you actually join a lot of groups, right? So actually groups are able to help you to actually build community of your own brand, your brand community, okay? And then we have the last objective that most business are actually using, is that they are they're using social media platform to improve their marketing. So one of the way is that because social media helped you to get noticed on Google search, right? So any one of you here don't have a business website, but you have a social media page, yes? Yeah, because especially I've seen a lot of like small business in Malaysia. They actually leverage on social media to get online, to increase their online presence, rather than they actually invest a lot of money on websites and other digital assets, right? So if you have a presence on, let's say, Facebook, on Instagram, or even YouTube, you're able to help to get noticed on Google search when someone is searching for you, okay? And it helps you to attract more people to your website, okay? Because on social media channels, right, it allows you to actually fill in a lot of business information, right? So in a way, you can actually leverage on your page to drive more traffic to your website, or drive more traffic to your other digital assets, okay? And also gain valuable customer insights. I think this insights part, a lot of business owner actually kind of like not paying more attention on this. When we talk about digital, especially digital marketing, right? It's not just like, market your products using digital channels, but also you should learn how to read reports and data. Because not only on Facebook or Instagram or even YouTube, a lot of digital channels, right, they actually have the reports tab, the insights, right? Have you really read through your insights before? Anyone? For those who raised your hand earlier that you have a business page, have you really pulled out your reports like every month and analyze it? Yes? All right. Any one of you pull out your reports every month? Okay. Pull out your report, analyze, and take action. Anyone? Perfect. Right? So a lot of people still not doing that. They are still reading reports, yes. But after reading reports, what do? They just keep it, right? So you have to learn how to read these numbers and make sense of the numbers and turn them into a valuable action, okay? And of course, social media are able to help you to keep an eye on your competitors, because in the insights report, you're also able to see what your competitors are doing, right? So this is actually a very good way to help you to market your products, okay? So, but after that, you once you have your objective, right, you will next need to learn how to measure success. I think measuring success, this part is also one of the challenge that a lot of people facing, because we don't know what kind of metrics to measure, right? And what is social media engagement? We always talk about social media strategy, but we hardly talk about engagement strategy. But what is engagement? So engagement basically is that when someone actively react on one of your posts or content, right? So this could be one of the engagements. For example, like if someone likes your post, or if someone follows your post, share about your post, or they comment about your post, right? So it's very hard to get the engagement part. Yes or no? Anyone here run a very successful social media page? Like you get a lot of attention, you get a lot of likes on? Not really, right? Because attention span of each user is getting shorter and shorter, right? How short is that? 6 seconds? I think mine is about 5 seconds, right? So because it's too crowded, right? Because today when you actually scroll through your Facebook feed, right, it's too many things, and most of them are advertisements. Yes or no? To be honest, even though I'm in the advertising industry, I'm in the marketing industry, I still hide a lot of advertisement. I get reports, right? Because they are not relevant to me. So that's why today, if we want to know how to create a content, you need to learn how to make sure that the content is relevant to your customers. So you will need to set an objective first, and then know what kind of metrics to measure. Because if your objective today on social media is to set as increasing sales, right? But when you're measuring all these metrics, right, should you still measure number of likes of your post? Probably not. Probably you want to measure number of people clicking on the links to buy, right? So this is very important. That's why you need to set the right objective so that you know what to measure. Okay, so move on to our key topics today, like how do you improve your social media engagement. So engagement rate is always related back to the content, right? So we will have I'm going to share with you 3 simple tips, and these keys are pretty proven, right? A lot of brands and also businesses are using it, all right? So the first one is actually to define your audience. Why? I thought you have any magics, but trust me, digital marketing, or if you want to run a successful social media strategy or digital marketing strategy, there's no shortcut, or it's not a magic, right? So you will still need to back to the basics to understand and define your audience, okay? So defining your audience very, very important, because not only you want to know who are they, all right? When we talk about who are they, right, we always link to the demographic part, the age group, the gender, the location, but actually on digital, because you're able to understand more, like you're able to measure more things, so you have to also think of another side, not only demographic, but we call them a psychographic information. So psychographic basically is to understand your audience interest. Like, what do they like to do on social media? How much time they spend on this channel, right? And what kind of other content, like website content, that they consume, like in the past 90 days. So you will need to define all this, all right? So when we talk about defining audience, we always relate back to this part called buyer persona, all right? So there's a lot of tools out there that you're able to use it to draw out the buyer persona, and it's very, very useful. So once you know your audience already, definitely you know what to post, okay? So for example, today, let me give you an example. If your target audience is students, okay? So beside drawing out students' age and the location and all this, what about the psychographic part? You need to understand what students like to do. All right. For example, students like promotions because they don't have the earning power yet, right? So they will like deals. All right. They like promotion. They like deals. And they are very price sensitive. So when you know this, right, when you come out your content to students, you will know that your content should contain more on promotions, about price, about things that they like, all right? So this is why we need to understand the audience. And reaching out consumers that have chosen you to engage, all right? So you also need to study back through your reports, who in the past, let's say 6 months ago, who actually engaged to your post the most. You need to highlight this group of people as well, all right? Next part, key number 2, is that you will need to make interactions. So interactions, right, we always talk about 2 parts. We have the first part is reactive engagement. Reactive means that you will actually take note on someone who mentioned about your brand. So you just go and reply it, because a lot of your customers will tag you, right, on social media. So you need to reply them, okay? Reactive. And proactive engagement, I think a lot of brands focus a lot of time on reactive engagement, but not the proactive. So proactive actually takes a lot of time because you will need to actively going to see what people are talking about you. And those people, they actually not tagging you. They are not talking about, they are not tagging you basically, right? But you still need to reply them, right? So there's two parts of it. Let me share with you one example. I'm not sure whether I've seen this. Anyone follow this Facebook page? Bro, don't like that, or something like that, yeah? Bro, don't like that, bro. Okay, anyway, so this is a page on social media. They actually, this page, right, they actually draw comics and all, right? So this guy come out with a series to introduce, you know, the local fast food companies, okay? And then he actually drew out all the brands like McDonald's, KFC and all this. And someone actually replied a post, you know, saying that, where is Sugar Bun? Sugar Bun is actually a fast food chain in Sabah and Sarawak, alright? And very interesting, Sugar Bun actually respond to it, saying that, oh, because he's the teacher, so that's why he's not in this picture, right? So for this particular post and actually reply, it actually went viral, and a lot of people actually start to, you know, follow Sugar Bun's Facebook page from there. All right. So this is about proactive and also reactive engagement. Okay. And the last part is how do you create a valuable content? Okay. So first is define your audience already. All right. You know who are they. Second steps is that you will. What is the second key? Make interaction for those people with those people. And the last one is that you will need to start to create organic content, okay? So what kind of content we should post, right? I always ask this, like, you know what should you post on your business page? Some people will tell me, oh, maybe we put a greeting post. Good morning with the sunshine photos, no? With the sunflowers, no? Alright, but anyway, don't do that, alright? Because your user won't appreciate it, okay? So types of simple content that I always love to share, it's very a proven one. So first is like announcement of products, okay? And then non-promotional content, for example, like the behind the scenes, like what I shared earlier, because people would love to know more about you. Not only the one yourself on paper, you know, on magazine, but what is the behind, okay? And then product or brand related, like maybe some tips. If you're selling sofa, you can actually share how to take care of sofa, you know, how to clean a sofa, right? All these tips. And responses actually link to the contest. Operational, if someone actually using social media to hiring purpose. And recurring content, like every week we will have this similar content, okay? For example, contests, all right? I think contests pretty much common, all right? A lot of people are actually doing it, but still very effective, because if you understand your customer better, you can actually link contests with your objective. Because, for example, let's say you want to increase sales. You can actually create a very simple contest, and then you can give out a voucher, a sales voucher or so, to get people to buy more from you, for example, okay? And then we have like a weekly posting thing. So if you notice, right, those like successful social media page, right, they always have this weekly thing, right? Like a weekly joke day or a weekly tips day, you know? So you set kind of this so that your user are able to expect what you are posting every day, like, or every month, right? Because if you are just like go here and there, right? So people tend to not able to follow you. Like, how come you this month you're sharing this, next month you're sharing another thing, you know? The following month you're sharing your competitor stuff. You're not consistency, right? And then we have like feature your fans, right? So if you especially Facebook right now, you have this top fan feature, right? So if you are seeing your fans are actively posting on your wall, you can actually find one of the content idea is that feature them. right? So they actually feel like they are recognized. When you feel recognized, what do? You will tend to be loyal, right? You'll tend to follow the page more, right? So this is one of the way. And then ask questions so that you actually create two-way communication, right? And then, of course, ask for feedback, right? So I think this one is a little bit tough because I think especially Malaysian, they don't like to receive reviews because they don't like bad reviews, right? When we talk about like feedback, right, a lot of people read, no, I don't want. What if we have bad reviews? What should we do? Should we block the user? Should we delete the reviews? No, right? Definitely not. Alright, it's not the best practice. You should reply the reviews anyway. Alright, so in summarize, okay, so we learned the 3 keys. And before you actually plan your social media engagement strategy, ask yourself this. Are my posts engaging enough, right? If not, you have to revisit back to the audience that you actually draw out, alright? And then what kind of posts, who are my most influential followers? And when is the best way to engage with them? Is it through contests? Is it through feedback? Is it through, a lot of different posts? What is the best way, okay? And then, last but not least, in summary, attention spans are getting shorter. Alright, so you have to really understand what they want and produce what they need, okay? And you, on social media, everyone is fighting hard for attention. And once it's public, it's public. So be very mindful. Not to simply reply or not to simply post something, right? Because once it's public, it is public. No way to go back, alright? So that's about my session today. Hope you learned something new. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley. So, same as before, any questions? You were using the app for questions. I can see on here there's quite a few people who have submitted them already. So keep it coming. Later on again, we're going to bring them up on the screen and go through questions. So for our last speaker, last but not least, it's quite an interesting panel we've got today because we've got Google, airline, and then last of all, we've got